Just before we get into the episode, guys, I want to let you know that you can listen to the From the Sidelines podcast a day early. You heard me right, a day early, and it will not cost you a penny. It is completely free. All you have to do is go onto Spotify or any other major podcasting platforms, and you've got a day's early access to the podcast. We will be releasing the YouTube video a day later, just so that I can get the best edits for you guys on the YouTube video and get more content out for you guys. So yeah, into the episode. Hello everyone and welcome back to the From the Sidelines podcast, episode 14. I am your host, George Allen, and as usual, we've got my co-host, the ever-loving, ever-amazing Mr. Scott Allen. How are you doing today, Scott?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you for asking. So today, obviously, we've got two games to cover. Chelsea Leeds and Manchester City Fulham. We'll start with the Chelsea Leeds game. We'll move into the Manchester City Fulham game. And then after that, we've got a few Instagram polls that I put up on the page for us to discuss. So that will be it after we've done that. So we'll start off with Chelsea Leeds. Scott, did you watch the game?
I saw bits of the game. I didn't watch all of it. But yeah, it was. I don't know. It was a weird game. I think both sides sort of went for it, and then both sides sort of didn't go for it at the same time. But Chelsea obviously then got the win. I think Chelsea squandered a lot of chances in that game, but I think they'll be happy that they got the winner.
Yeah. We had 23 shots in the game, 11 on target, and we only scored 3 goals. I mean, 3-1 sounds convincing. It really wasn't that convincing. We only had 46% possession. Leeds' goal was, I thought it was pretty good. A first-time pass from Phillips, I believe it was, straight through to Bamford, bang, pass. Takes it past Mendy and in the back of the net. So
Chelsea were asleep. Like Chelsea was sleeping.
Yeah, we were. That goal. I don't know what Mendy was really doing. I think he was coming out of his goal and then sort of hesitated and thought, "Well, I'm here now. I might as well go for it." But by the time he's done that, Bamford's gone past and scored past him. So. An equaliser in the 27th minute from Olivier Giroud, who is...
5 goals in 2 games.
Say again, sorry?
5 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, that's an incredible stat. Not many players in the world have that stat, which is crazy. I think he's been...
5 goals in the same week as well.
Yeah. Again, which is mental to think about. Olivier Giroud, I think one of the most underrated players there is. Karim Benzema said you don't compare F1 cars to go-karts when someone asked him in an interview who's better, him or Giroud. And he even came out and said that he was referring to himself as the F1 car, meaning Giroud as the go-kart. Olivier Giroud is the second all-time goal scorer for France. Benzema's not even in the top 5. So, there you go. Kurt Zouma, another Frenchman, giving us the lead, 61st minute, from a corner, I believe. He's got more goals than Martial. He's got more goals than Firmino this season. He's banging them in from the corners. What do you think about that?
Yeah, he scares me.
He scares you?
He scares me as a defender. Like I don't know. He's having a good season. He scored 6 goals. I think it's his career high goal tally in the season. And it's only 11 games or 10 games in, so he's having a good season scoring. But he has made a few mistakes defensively as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of them. He's obviously in the Southampton game. He made that mistake, and he made a few mistakes in other games as well. He's scoring lots of goals from headers, from corners, which is useful. But obviously, I would like him to contribute more at the back. Not saying he doesn't contribute anything at the back, but I feel like Thiago Silva's been the main guy. Um, that's been really, or the main centre back of the pairing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Christian Pulisic, to wrap it up, scored in the 93rd minute from a magnificent counter attack from, I think, a string of like maybe 3 Leeds corners, because towards the end of the game they were really pushing for an equaliser. I mean,
They
really
were,
pushing.
Pavetta, I think, should have scored. You know, Pavetta come on and he looked really, really lively.
Yeah,
Get
he
a
is.
goal, but
I've seen him play in a few other games coming off the bench, and he didn't look that good. But against us on Saturday, he looked very good, and I mean very, very good. One talking point I would like to discuss is Timo Werner. Now, I love the guy. I love
he
the
missed
guy.
about 6 opportunities
Yeah,
in the game.
yeah. This is the thing. I absolutely love him. I followed him at Leipzig. I saw him when he made the transfer. I was so happy because I love Timo Werner. He started the season okay, and at the moment he just can't finish his dinner. He missed one of the easiest opportunities I've ever seen, and then he missed about 3 or 4 others.
He scored goals and he's got assists this year. So, you know, and he's playing out on the left. And I just don't think that's where he's useful. I think he'd be a lot more useful in the middle. And if he plays in the middle, he'd have a lot more success. But, you know, he has been successful. I'm not going to slate him because he has scored quite a few goals and he has chimed in with an assist. And he did get an assist for that Pulisic goal. So, you know, it's just one of them days. It wasn't his day to score, but he still managed to help someone else.
Yeah, it was a bad day at the office for him, really, wasn't it? With that chance and a few others. And on his day, in a one-on-one situation, you've got to back Werner to score. So, just one of them days for him.
He's getting into those positions, so, you know.
Yeah, it is good. I think he's a very good player. He just needs to, I think, maybe score 1 or 2 more goals in the next few weeks than what he has been doing recently. I think he could easily score 15, 20 goals a season if he was playing up front. Obviously, as you said, I think he's only played
What's his stats? Tell me what his stats are for the season.
I think he's got 9 goals and like 5 assists.
So, you know, you're only 11 games in, 38 games in the season. You're saying I think he needs to score 15 goals. He's only got to score another 6 for the rest of the season to get to 15.
That is in all competitions, though.
But, you know, if somebody scores 15 goals a season for a team, whether it's in the league or in all competitions, that's 15 goals from one person. It's a good form. You know, like, you can't be, just because he's had a bad game, to get on his back. I think he's been very useful. I think arguably maybe being played out of position and he's still got all those goal contributions. So, Timo Werner I think he's done well this year.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, a lot of rival fans and just people in general, after that incident happened when he should have probably scored but didn't, were absolutely slating him, saying
some of their strikers haven't scored as many as him this year already. So, you know.
Yeah, obviously. But what I was going to say is rival fans posting about it, criticising him, saying he's overrated, overpriced. I
Yeah,
put
that happens, and he's got to take that as well. Like, that's football. It happens. Everyone's on Martial's back as well. So you can't moan when it's on Werner's back for the same thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm one of those people that is on Martial's back all the time. I'm always saying, well, where's his goals this season? I think he's only had 2 shots on target. But form doesn't last forever, as we say every week. So, um, it's good to see Christian Pulisic back in the side after a few hamstring problems. Getting that important third goal. I just want to see more Christian Pulisic in the side. I think if Pulisic goes on the left, then we can move Werner up top, and creates a bit of a headache for Frank Lampard.
Hakim Ziyech didn't have the best of games as well.
No, he had to come off. I think it was after 22 minutes, 23 minutes. He had to come off with a knee injury.
And there wasn't much he could do.
Yeah, he played. I think he made one really good pass, which led to the first goal. But after that, it must have been in the 30th minute he came off them. But after that, he really didn't do much. So yeah. Let's talk about the game statistics here. I did briefly mention them before. The scoreline doesn't reflect really the possession stats, but as we say a lot, possession doesn't win football matches. Chelsea had 46% possession, meaning Leeds with 54%.
Yeah, but that's not a surprise. Leeds love to dominate the ball, and Chelsea are happy if someone wants to dominate the ball because Chelsea then can sit in and then hit you with the fast counter. But obviously, when you're playing at home, you are at home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're playing at home, obviously, you don't want to see your team surrender the ball. So there were a few disgruntled moans I heard from the bridge, but if you win the game, it doesn't really matter. These stats are absolutely useless if you manage to win the game.
Yeah, definitely. We see a few years ago, Barcelona versus Celtic. Celtic had 21% possession, 2 shots on goal, and they won the game 1-0. So there's a prime example of stats. Stats don't win you football matches. Goals are what you want. But yeah, I think that's all we've got for the Chelsea game. We'll move on to the Fulham game. Manchester City 2, Fulham 0. Before we get into the details, what did you think of the game, Scott?
Well, this is a game against Man City, really. I didn't really see my team do anything. But we avoided getting an absolute hammering, so it's a positive. But obviously, it's disappointing to lose. But come on, no one expected us to win that game. We beat Leicester the week before, no one expected us to beat them. So no one had a chance in hell for us to beat Man City.
Yeah, I think it was the week before.
I do think in the second half we defended quite well. We didn't really afford them much space in our area. They had a lot of chances, but I think we contained them pretty well. But we didn't really put a finger in them in an attacking sense at all.
Yeah, as you said, against Man City, no one's really going to give you much of a chance, especially since you've just come up from the Championship. But as you said, you avoided getting a hammering. Last week,
I can't remember. We went down after about 7 minutes, I think.
5th minute Sterling.
Yeah, so 5 minutes Sterling. That was going to happen. And then their second goal also come in the first half in about the 30th minute, maybe.
Yeah, 26th.
So
De
yeah,
Bruyne.
so it was around that period of the game. So we went after that, didn't see the goal for the next hour. So I don't know if we didn't put a finger to the tool, which is slightly worrying because you'd expect to get a couple of chances in the game. I just don't think we had many. But we didn't get beaten when we remained out of the bottom three. So it wasn't a bad week for us because all of our relegation rivals lost.
Yeah, speaking of relegation rivals, last week Manchester City played Burnley and they got hammered 5-0.
Yeah, so it was good for our goal difference as well to only get beat 2-0.
Yeah, huge win for you guys. In the game, City had 69% possession to Fulham's 31. 15 shots for City, 6 for Fulham. Only 1 was on target though for Fulham, and 5 were on target for City. So there you go. You clearly only really had 1 big chance in the game.
But I don't think it was a big chance. For the life of me, I can't remember the chance we had. So that's what I mean. I watched City absolutely try and hammer. As you said, they had 16 shots, but only 5 of them were on target, and they scored 2 of them. So there are only another 3 shots.
Yeah.
I think we've done well to contain them like that.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna ask you, did Mitro play?
No, he didn't play for 1 minute. He was on the bench. We decided to stick with the team that beat Leicester, which is, I don't think anyone can argue with. But the way we set up was totally different. We lost his cheek with playing, I don't know, with his, he didn't have a good game, he lost his cheek. But, no one really did. But it's a weird one. It was a weird game to watch, I think, for us. But Mitro didn't play at all. And I think maybe, I'm not saying we might have scored, but to go a bit more direct against them might have helped.
Yeah, maybe if you who was up front? Deco Reed, am I right?
No, Deco's not playing up front. He's playing like a right wing back at the minute,
All right.
because of sitting in and absorbing and then try and break out. Cavallero technically was up front, but it looked like at periods we were playing with Loftus-Cheek up there, and Loftus-Cheek cannot play with his back to goal. Like it just doesn't work. He has to drive forward.
Okay.
And he just didn't look comfortable playing the role that Scott wanted him to play. So,
well, an idea maybe when you come up against the bigger teams. You've got Liverpool this week.
It's in another game. Do you know what? If we avoid getting absolutely hammered, it's not a bad result.
Yeah, definitely. One idea I would suggest for Scott Parker to maybe look at would be.
I don't think he wants your advice.
I don't think many managers want my advice, but maybe sticking Cavallero or one of your faster players up front, because unless I might be wrong.
Up front at the minute, but I don't know. They look like they were just essentially we played 5 across the back when we didn't have the ball. We didn't have the ball for a lot of the game, so it was a bit strange.
Yeah. What I was going to suggest is maybe whenever you've got the ball at the back, is have your faster players up the top and be, like you said, be a bit more direct with the ball. Let your faster players run with the ball a bit more. Maybe get in behind the defence, because as we know, Liverpool's defence isn't. They haven't got their best back four at the moment. So maybe that could be an idea.
They've got players in the can absolutely punish us. And that's our issue. If there's no fighting in the field, then we absolutely just get hounded, and that's what will happen. Liverpool want the ball, so we've just got to sit in and be patient, really.
Yeah.
Try and keep it out. We're not, I don't think anyone expects us to win this game either. So
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
One thing I would like to add was the penalty. I believe it was Anderson that brought Sterling down.
But don't be honest, there's contact. But if you have a look at the way Sterling goes down, he goes down the complete opposite way to where the contact was. The contact he made that was made on him would never send him down the way he went down. He jumped.
Okay.
But as everyone keeps saying, as the law, if there's contact in the area, it's penalty. So I'm not disputing there's contact. I'm just disputing the way he goes down.
The way that Sterling takes it, really.
Yeah, I just don't understand. There's no way that contact is sending you down like that. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, there was contact, but I think it was very soft, and Sterling didn't really react the way he probably should have, even if he just tripped over or he sort of threw himself to the floor, didn't he?
Yes, and that's the issue. Football's a contact sport, so there's going to be contact. Just because it's contact doesn't mean it's a foul, and because contact sometimes isn't going to send you down and it's not actually impeding you. But I don't know. I'm not disputing the fact that there was contact and it's a penalty, because I'm disputing the way Sterling goes down.
Okay, yeah. I can't say there's much more I can say. There's not more I can really disagree with. I think you're right. The way Sterling goes down is a bit Oscar-esque, if you want to say that. So yeah. So we'll move on to the second part of this week's of this episode. Sorry. On Instagram, follow us on Instagram, by the way, From the Sidelines podcast. We do polls on there, not too often, but maybe once a week. I put 3 polls up. Nothing to do with Chelsea or Fulham in particular. Fulham are involved in one of them. So I would like to hear your opinion on this one, Scott. First poll was, will Sheffield United go down? Now, the first option was already gone, as in there's no way they're going to stay up. And the second option was they'll stay up. 86% of you guys said they're already gone, and 14% said they'll stay up. Scott, which one would you have chosen?
I have no idea. Sheffield United, I don't know what is going on there. Like, they've forgotten how to stay in games. They've forgotten how to defend. Because they're not being battered. They're losing by 1 goal, so they're missing out on points mostly, essentially.
Yeah.
And I don't understand it.
I think the only game they've lost by more than 1 goal was to Chelsea.
Yeah, and I don't think Chelsea were. What was the score that day?
4-1.
4-1. Yeah, so and that says something. It says that they're in football matches. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it is. It's quite silly how they've gone. Obviously, we said a few weeks ago that Chris Wilder's tactics and Sheffield United's tactics in general have been found out. The It's weird how they've gone from finishing in 9th place last season to being rock bottom, 5 points from 19th place. Not even the drop out from the drop.
1 point.
Yeah.
So we got 1 point from 11 games.
Which is very poor, I have to say.
And that point came against Fulham.
Yeah, that's a point. What's happened there?
I don't know. Well, I think we're playing different football now to the team that played at Sheffield United.
Yeah, you over the last few games you've become.
That Sheffield United point is got both of our first points of the season. We're now on 7.
Well, maybe you've taken something from that game, and
That's what I'm talking about. That point was the turning. Well, I wouldn't say turning point, but it switched something in the squad. You know, like we've gone on and got another 6 points since that game. They've not got a point since that game.
and arguably you've come up against tougher opposition.
I don't know. I don't know what Sheffield United's recent fixtures are, but they're not. They're losing by 1 goal. They lost by 1 goal again this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you know, there's rumours that Chris Wilder has lost the dressing room, but that would surely reflect in their performances, and they wouldn't just be losing by 1 goal here and there, but they're losing by 1 goal consistently. So it means they're in the game up until a certain point, until the other team score.
Yeah. So I am going to push you for an answer here. Which one are you going to choose?
Well, if it carries on, they've already gone. They've got 1 point from 11 games, and if they haven't picked up a point before more than 1 point before Christmas, it looks bleak, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So 86% of you guys said they're already gone. I have to agree myself as well. 1 point from 11 games, as you said, is poor. And that point obviously came against Fulham, and since then, Fulham have picked up 6 points, and they haven't picked up any. So something's clearly not going right for them.
It's a strange one.
Yeah, definitely. Next poll. I don't know how I'd react to this one. The question was, are Arsenal still a top 6 club? Obviously, answers being yes and no. Before I get to the percentages of who said what, Scott, what would you have said?
I think you need to question it differently.
Or do you think I should have said, are they still a big 6 club?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
They're not a top 6 club. They're a big 6 club.
Okay. Which, fair enough.
No, because it's true. You can't be a top 6 club unless you're in the top 6. It's impossible. But the big 6, they remain the same.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Maybe I should have worded that a bit differently.
Chelsea were still considered a big 6 club when they finished 10th.
That is true.
Chelsea was still considered a big 6 club when they failed to qualify for the Champions League and the Europa League. But then they won the Champions League.
Yep.
In 2012. So they've always been a big 6 club. They've been outside the top 6. You know, Man United have been outside the top 6.
Yep. Fair point. Well, I'll tell you the percentages anyway. 100% of people said no.
Because they're not in the top 6. That's why.
There you go. Maybe I probably should have worded that different.
15th. They are 15th in the league.
Let's get into it. Why do you think they're 15th in the league?
They don't know how to score a goal. no creativity in their side whatsoever.
And where do you think that comes from?
They have no creative players
I think
in their squad.
the one big mistake Arteta made was leaving Mesut Ozil out the squad.
I don't know, because, yes, Mesut Ozil he is a creative player, and he could offer something that's different that they need, but Arteta's not the first manager to leave him out.
Yeah, this is true.
People need to remember this. He's been left out by every single Arsenal manager.
Maybe it's his attitude. Maybe he's doing something behind the scenes that we don't know about.
It's just a weird saga. The whole thing is a weird saga.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Your club's highest paid player is chilling at home, and you are 15th in the league.
He's being paid 350 grand a week
To chill at home.
to sit on his sofa and play Fortnite.
Do you know what I mean? He doesn't train with the first team. He's not in the squad.
I don't think he's been training at all. Or maybe personal training, but
Would you agree?
he's getting on a bit, isn't he? He's like 31 years old now or something like that.
Yeah, but I can't comment on the situation because there's so many different angles to it.
Yeah, it is definitely a strange one. So we will move on to the third and final poll. This one is to do with Fulham. And I had to do this just because of high demand of me to ask you this question, Scott. Who's the better team? Fulham or Leeds?
What?
Yeah.
Who's that team? Fulham or Leeds?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Leeds, am I? I love Fulham. Fulham, to me, are a much better team than Leeds. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. If you were to ask me,
but that's a stupid question to ask. It's like me going to you, George, who is better, Chelsea or Man United? It's stupid.
Yeah, I agree with you. But from high demand, I had to ask this. A lot of people were asking me to ask you this question. And you're not going to be happy with the results either.
People can think Leeds are a better team. That's fine. They are playing a lot better football than Fulham are at the moment. So they're a better team than us in the league at the minute. But to me, no, they're not a better team than us.
Yeah, fair enough. 23% of people said Leeds, or not Leeds, Fulham, sorry, and 77% of people said Leeds. Now, why do you think that is?
Because they're higher. They are a lot higher in the league than we are.
How many points have Leeds got? Isn't it like 11? I think
People
it's...
remember, you played Leeds last year, yeah? Twice in the league. We got 3 points, they got 3 points. That's what I'm saying.
Fair point. And obviously you played them this year when you haven't been at your best, and when they were on a bit of form as well. So it would be interesting to watch the two teams play now. I would probably lean more towards Fulham at this current point.
I don't know, because Marcelo Bielsa is a fantastic coach, but we've played Leeds enough in the past few years, and we've got results against them. So I don't think it's as easy now. Leeds are better than Fulham, but at the moment they're playing a lot better than us.
Yeah, I can't agree. You're being very, very, very fair with your analysis. Obviously, as a Fulham fan, you have to say Fulham, but you've also come and said that Leeds have been better than you this season. So there's not much I can really disagree with or bring up a point of argument with. I can't say that if I was to vote on this, I would choose Fulham. I would probably lean towards Leeds. just because of the where they are in the table and the results that they've picked up.
That's mad coming for the Chelsea fans. That's crazy coming for the Chelsea fans.
Yeah, it is. But if you want my honest opinion, remember I wasn't around when Chelsea Leeds was a big rivalry, so I don't really know much about.
Your dad would never have said that.
Oh yeah, I know. My dad likes Fulham, even though he's a Chelsea fan. He does like Fulham, so there we go. But I believe that's all we've got for this week. So gonna sign off. Thank you very much, Scott, for being here once again. Do make sure to like, share, subscribe on the YouTube video. Share with friends on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and more. And make sure to follow us on Instagram. So, that's about it. All we've got for today's or this week's episode. And we'll see you guys later.
Bro.